how it turned out to work together.
With Trevor?
Yes, Trevor Vaughan.
Trevor Vaughan.
Yes.
Yeah. How did I come to work with him?
Yes.
Well, he's pretty much where it all begins. He was the first person I really ever saw at a show.
Oh.
He was 2 years older than me. When I was 14, and he had a shirt that just said Straight Edge on it. And he played for a band called Thousands Shall Fall. He had a Warlock guitar, and he was very intimidating. But when I had worked up enough courage to say hi to him, this is when I was 14. He was just really nice to me, and my first band ever, The Action Taken, he was moshing for us, and then he started a new band called X Files X, and he recorded the Half Art demo, and he's really just one of my best friends. He's
that's nice.
And he's probably the most creative person I think in all of Massachusetts, and one of the hardest working people too. In every band I've ever done, I'm always very involved in the music writing process, structures and stuff like that. But with Wolf Whistle, it's a project where I just let him write whatever he wants to write, and then I just put the lyrics on and the vocals on. But that's the only person I would ever let just run the show. Yeah. Yeah, that's in there too, with both just life in general, and it seeps into my lyrics. The evil version of Fiddlehead is found on the Wolf Whistle record, Private Hell.
Yes.
Which the proper title of Private Hell is Private Hell or the Afternoon Blueness from a Windowsill and a Cushioning, which is a reference to the Cormac McCarthy book, Blood Meridian, or the redness, the evening redness in the West, which is a reference to Herman Melville's Moby Dick or The Whale. So anyway, big references, and then anyway, big concepts you find in literature, and just as a result of existing. I was going to be there. Grief, passage of time, those two things working together. How the passage of time actually is more of it hurts.
Yes.
They say time heals all wounds, but I remember thinking, no, it doesn't. It's making things worse.
Yes.
I think Wolf Whistle is trying to channel more of the more angrier and less romantic side of grief, whereas Fiddlehead is a little bit more, I guess, maybe digestible, not as angry, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate everything you're saying. That's really nice. I wouldn't say have a lot of serenity. It might seem like that. I'm also not, I don't have a lot of insanity, but I have a little bit of both. And those two things, insanity and serenity, are always fighting each other. I think for me, studying history is very grounding. Really studying it, and then also doing it. Doing history is not simply just memorizing things or just saying bullshit online.
Yes.
It's really thinking about it, why it matters, why it happened, how it compares to things. Does it represent what do things in history really represent a real change over time or continuity? These are all very grounding ways. It's called historical thinking.
Yes.
And it slows the brain down, which I think is something that we all need to do. And it's been made all that much more worse with our phones, and then just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And I just think history is this, it slows you down and helps you focus on what really matters and a lot of solutions. And so it might come in the form, it might not really come in the form of a diatribe like press might offer.
Yes.
it comes in the form of how I want to communicate my way of being in the moment. But sometimes things in the world are so complex that I'd rather have a conversation than write a song about.
Yes.
Or like a meaningful discussion with someone I disagree with,
Yeah.
And I think that builds a lot of serenity.
Yes. Do you think that teaching gave you serenity, or it increased your insanity?
At first, it increased my insanity, but I refused to let it win. I wanted the calmness, and I'm very happy with the kind of teacher I am today. And I'm waiting to not like it. I'm waiting to wake up one day. I don't want to do this anymore. But every year I like it, and I love it even more and more. And it gets in the way of, Fiddlehead, coming to Brazil, for sure. We've been trying to get here, but my work is just in the way of that.
Yes.
I also think that the balance between music and teaching and art and science are a nice, real great balance to have in life. And I didn't intend. I kind of did intend for that. I had a hunch that being a teacher would be valuable and would also allow for me to retain an artistic side of my life.
Yeah.
The influences have they haven't changed, so they've grown over the years. As we love music. We love music. We are constantly talking about music. And I think that helps a lot. We try to keep it as organic as possible because the purpose of the band very much so, I think, was it kind of started out really to be like the anti-band, because I was getting out of Half Art. Alex Henry was getting out of Basement, and we were just like, we just want to do something where we just no stress and we just write whatever we write. And that has been kind of a North Star for us. So we've never really tried to sound like anything. But if we have something we're like, ooh, that reminds us of Slim, that reminds us of Superchunk or Archers of Low or Sam I Am, we're like, and it's something that we like, we just kind of chase it. But now, it's interesting. We have 3 LPs at this point, and lyrically, I feel like I've gotten a lot of where I want to be in my own headspace, and we just wrote a new EP. It's called Baby I'll Change, and we went down to North Carolina to record it last summer, and it's coming out. And the first song is were you guys here earlier today? And we played it at Soundstack, and
No.
it sounds like at the first half sounds like a Fiddlehead song.
Yes.
And then the second half it sounds like, wow, this is totally different. And then the second song of the EP, it's way more, it's different. And then the third song is the title track. It's called Baby I'll Change. And I think it's the greatest departure, but it somehow still feels exactly like us. And I think we all believe that it's the greatest song we ever wrote. And we wrote it in one day. Usually someone has a riff, and we tinker around with it. And then, I get the lyric, I spend days and weeks and months getting the lyrics together. And, I'll leave some stuff blank, and then I'll let the deadline get in the way, and then, I'll finish everything except for a couple things there, and I'll allow for the muse and the recording process to come through. And then we have the song, and then Alex, I'm not a professional singer. Alex Henry's always kind of helped me fill in the blanks and figured it out. So that's been part of the process. But I've become better at writing a lot of my own melodies, and writing melodies that don't need to be changed in the studio. And then someone will have a riff and we'll send it via the phone, and then that's cool. And a lot of it has to it has to make me go this is awesome. This makes me want to say this. And if that's there, then I'll get really passionate. We've got to do that song because I'm already thinking of lines, and I have a vision of what the sound is making me think it's about. So I always try to, and then it's structuring, and then I'll write some lyrics and change this or that. But it's pretty organic. Yeah. The most recent song we wrote, Maybe I'll Change, though, is It's a great song. This is such a good song. Anyway, so last time we were was we told the rest of the game because one day I actually had the riff, which is great. I don't play drum, but I have fun with it. So that was like Ed, but they're wonderful guys. We have like no bad ideas policy, just trying everything. Yes, the next oh, and if I get stuck weirdly, I'll read some Raven Charles and then I'll get unstuck and go.